What's up everybody, Kinetic here and welcome back to Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls. Recently I did a review video talking about the expansion pack, but I didn't go into detail talking about transmogrifying and enchanting in Reaper of Souls using the new artisan, the Mystic. But this is a big topic, and that's probably why I left it out for that reason, because I could take probably a good 10 or 15 minutes just talking and showing off the Mystic's abilities. The Mystic, by the way, originally was supposed to be in the vanilla Diablo 3. She was a third artisan like Hadrig and Shen the Jeweler to go along and provide some kind of service for you, but Blizzard canceled out adding the Mystic, probably because they felt with some of the feature changes that she wasn't nearly as necessary at the time, but then they developed on the ideas of transmogrifying and enchanting in Diablo 3 and gave her those powers, which is really awesome. You may be familiar with transmogrification. It's the ability, just like in World of Warcraft, where you can change the look of pieces of gear, and that's what I'm going to do, especially for my Crusader, because his armor looks okay, but I mean, look at Cormac. Cormac looks like such a boss compared to me. I feel like I'm his sidekick or something like that. He looks awesome over there. So I'm going to tweak my gear to make my stuff look better, and I'll show you the costs of that. Enchanting is kind of a little bit different. Basically, enchanting gives you the ability to re-roll stats. So let's say, for example, you find a piece of equipment that gives you plus life on kill of an enemy, and you want to change that to something more useful. You can using the Mystic, and I'm going to show you guys the cost of that as well. In order to unlock the Mystic in Diablo, you will need to have the expansion pack Reaper of Souls, and you will also need to reach a certain point in the main story where you get to meet the Mystic, and then she will provide her services to you. To find her in town, all you have to do is look at your minimap and you'll see a purple squiggly mark that represents the Mystic, just like Hadrig has a anvil for his blacksmith abilities and Shen the Jeweler has a jewel. Here in Westmarch, she's located right over here in the corner. You can click on the cauldron if you want to go directly to enchanting, or the orb over here for transmogrifying. I'm just going to go ahead and click on her and then go to craft. And then you have these three options. Train, I've already went ahead and trained her to the maximum right now, which is level 12. And by the way, in order to get all of the options for enchanting and transmogrifying, you will need to train her, same as the other artisans, to have more options. So keep that in mind, as some of the stuff you may see here is only available once you have upgraded and trained your Mystic Artisan. So here on the Enchant tab, I can just take an item from over here on my inventory, for example this weapon, and drop it down into that slot. And what it will do is it will give me a list of properties that I may be able to replace. So let's say for some crazy reason I don't want strength, which is insane because I do want strength. I just click on that and it shows me what the material cost is and what the price is. Now you may be thinking, wow, 44,000 is a lot of gold. Trust me, I am more than happy, especially because I have the money, to pay that compared to the material costs. This is probably the biggest hurdle when it comes to trying to enchant weapons and armor and things like that using the Mystic. Some of these enchantments, rerolls will cost you some really rare materials. For example, the Forgotten Soul, which is salvaged from legendary items, and even Death's Breath, even though it's yellow and considered a rare crafting material, is honestly just as rare as legendary drops. I've been trying to farm Death's Breath and I am having a really hard time finding these things. So if I really want to, yes, I can change one of these stats into something different. To see what the stat can change into, click on this question mark right here and it will give you a list of possible properties. So for example, if I don't want a 2.3% chance to freeze, I may get monster kills grant bonus experience or something like that. But let's say I change my mind and I want to change this stat instead. Well, make sure then that you click on the question mark. because different rerolls of different stats will have different possibilities. I don't know why this doesn't auto-update, but this is really important. If you're going to try and analyze what it's going to change into, you absolutely must click on that question mark to make sure you understand what it may turn into. The cost is all the same, it seems like. No matter what you're trying to change to, it will ask for these materials. Since this is a legendary piece, you may have some really high cost in materials and gold. For something like a simple ring, even this also may cost you in terms of some rare crafting materials like Death's Breath. There's no way in hell that I would re-roll on a rare item, I think, for this cost, because like I said, Death's Breath is just really, really hard to come by. Let's look at the bracers. Alright, the bracers are not bad at all. It only costs me Arcane Dust and Veiled Crystal, which is very easy to get from salvaging materials. So let's see, I could change increased gold and health pickup by 2 yards, and it would cost me 30k. Let's see what the possibilities are in replacement to that. I could get reduced damage from range attacks. I could get, let's see, monster kill experience, or something like that. Let's go ahead and give it a try. I'm going to re-roll this stat and let's see what happens. So I click on that and it's giving me a warning. Are you sure you want to do that? I say yes. And there are my 2 options. So what I can do now is I can go ahead and keep that. If what I get here is not something that I want, I can go ahead and keep the original property, or I can select one of these 2 here. So I've got reduced damage from ranged attacks and reduced damage from melee attacks. I guess I will take reduced damage from melee attacks. Sure, why not? And there we go. That's how that's done. Like I said, depending on the piece that you want to change will have different costs and different options for you. And I want to reiterate one last time, make sure that when you're clicking on these, that you click on the question mark to be able to preview what properties these may change into. Alright, so now let's take a look at Transmogrify for equipment. Now, like I said, my Crusader's not looking all that impressive, so let's see what kind of cool stuff I can change into. Simply drop the piece into the slot there and it will give you a preview of skins that you have unlocked. It's important to keep that in mind. These are not all the skins available in the game. These are just ones that you have yourself acquired, and they're not limited to legendary skins either. These can be transmogrified into old and very common looking skins as well. And depending on what skin that you choose and what kind of rarity of the item's skin, it will also depend on the cost as well. So for example, if I want to change the skin to the Ascended Pauldrons, which is a common skin apparently, it's only going to cost me 500 gold. If I want to change it to a legendary items skin, that's going to cost me 50k. So the price jump is significant to say the least. But again, I mean, especially because I have the gold, I'm more than happy just to pay the gold cost and not also a crafting material cost, especially Death's Breath. That looks pretty badass. I think I'm gonna go with that. There you have it, guys. That is Transmogrifying and Enchanting using the Mystic in Reaper of Souls. Let's get a look at my Crusader. Not too bad. Not too bad. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about the Mystic, Transmogrifying and Enchanting in Reaper of Souls. Be sure to stay subscribed because more videos are coming up soon. Thanks for watching. My name is Kinetic. See you next time.